Good evening. My name is Kelly Lange, and I am in SEC 501. And tonight I'm going to discuss the professional disposition of learners, meaning me. The qualities that I think are important to be a good teacher include knowing my strengths. In my case, I feel being prepared, adaptability, and begin as you mean to go on are some of my biggest strengths. I'm always prepared for class. In fact, I tend to be over-prepared, Captain Overkill. Being able to adapt to ever-changing students, their attitudes, the lessons, being able to deal with changes from administration, laws, regulations, things like that. I think I'm able to adapt rather well. Begin as you mean to go on. Pretty self-explanatory. Don't change process mid-thought. Don't change process mid-week. Make sure you hold your students accountable. Follow the rules. Knowing my biases. That's extremely important. Making clear what's acceptable and not acceptable. Making it very clear as to what the consequences are when you don't follow the rules and you break the rules and you hurt someone, either physically or psychologically. Neither one are acceptable. Diversity is also very important. Being inclusive, using the students' ideas. Teachers can learn as much from their students as they impart to their students, just on different levels. They all come from different economic, socioeconomic backgrounds, and there are things in their lives that you may never have been exposed to. Take advantage of it. You're going to learn. Being fair, showing no favoritism. Laying out the ground rules. Ground rules are so important. And periodically they have to be revisited. Classes change, people adapt. Students grow up. Grow with it. Explain in both verbally and in writing, and make the parents also be accountable. I know that's not always feasible and practical, but it's got to be done. You got to equally enforce all the rules. Just because Johnny does his homework, he should be allowed free time when Susie can't do her homework because she doesn't have the technology that Johnny's exposed to. Is it fair to penalize Susie because she can't do it? No. Enforce all the rules equally. Lying's not acceptable. Listen to hear and hear to listen. This is really important. Just because you're hearing what they're saying, are you truly listening? Are you listening with your heart? Are you listening with your mind? Or are you listening with the rules in your hands? And you have to hear to be able to listen. And you have to listen to be able to hear what's being said. Sometimes they're screaming for help. They're screaming for, I don't understand this. And you have to be able to hear it and understand it. You have to also ensure that students feel safe in their classroom. Classroom is supposed to be the place where there's no bullying, there's no judgment, there's no anything else. And that's an important part of my own philosophy when I've taught in the Navy and well as in religious education classes. The conduct. Treat the students with the same respect that you wish to be treated. 99% of the time it comes back. The 1%, they don't know and they learn by example. So lead by example. Be honest with them and be transparent. Being honest gets you so much further. It's kind of like that old saying, you catch a whole lot more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Be nice, be polite. If you don't have anything nice to say, as Thumper would say, don't say nothing at all. Hold the students accountable. That is so important. You know, you can't necessarily discipline the way they did 40, 50 years ago, but you can make it where it's a grade, extra assignments, things like that. Talking to them, make them do a speech in front of the class as to why they decided to be disrespectful, why they decided to be ill-mannered. You know, sooner or later they're going to realize, yeah, there's a consequence, and the consequence is I have to do extra work. Not so much fun. Your professional attire begets your professional mannerisms. Dressing professional in class when you're teaching teaches your students that they are accountable for their own behaviors and learn by example. Participating outside of the classroom is really important. Being in your community, your students are your community. And overall, that's my opinions and that's how I would approach my teaching goals. Thank you.